Hey, my darling, that's me back. I had a little wee look around to get ether currents recently. There's one of them that I can't get, which is about there. I'm assuming it's underground or something, but I have no idea where about to get to it, so I will find that one day, but the rest of them I have found in this area. Right. Oh dear. I certainly hope Building Way can complete the renovation before more guests arrive. Or perhaps leave them as they are. That way you'd have more space to lounge about. I should have realised something was amiss when Living Way referred to us as children. What delightful misconceptions do they hold, I wonder? Why do I get the feeling we're going to have our hands full dealing with the Lord bits? It is unfortunate that the domiciles were constructed in error, but their willingness to perform such sweeping renovations is a testament to their commitment. I cannot fathom the resources required for a facility so vast. With the final days fast approaching, Living Way is keen to complete her preparations. It's that purple stuff. Carrot juice! Welcome! Now that you're here, we need you to teach us all you can about your people, and quickly! It won't be long before the final days are upon us, in their terrible grandeur, so it is imperative that we be prepared to receive our passengers to be. If there is anything at all, that may displease them, it must be addressed post-haste. And address it we shall. Here at Beastways Burrow, we have assembled everything required to offer our guests the best way forward. Ahem. We have produced myriad inanimate amenities. We understand them to be essential for day-to-day living, and I wish to hear your opinions on them. I'm sure you've all worked up an appetite, so why don't we start with foodstuffs? Meet me at Caratorium and we'll see about filling your bellies. She does not want for enthusiasm. The notion of Aetheris rotting its core as a matter of course is rather concerning, though. Nevertheless, let us take this opportunity to learn more of the Loperites and this vessel. Am I the only one who suspects we're not going to find anything edible whatsoever? Given their earlier confusion regarding our size, I cannot help but wonder if they even know the first thing about us. Hast thou spied the peculiar sentinels patrolling the vicinity? Approach them with caution, or better yet, not at all, for they make no distinguishment between friend or foe. You're a lot smaller than we expected, but I trust you still have large appetites, yes? Welcome to the Caratorium. Here we create prototypes of various sundries required by our soon-to-be passengers. Allow me to introduce the head of foodstuffs production. Cooking Way. Pleasure to meet you all. Our work has involved no small amount of trial and error, but after many cycles of painstaking labour, I dare say we have created the finest cuisine our guests could ask for. I've learned about all the essential nutrients for a healthy and balanced diet from the reference materials we received. Why, I've practically worn the words from those invaluable pages. Naturally, we've also considered ease of growth and production. We will not want for ingredients. I must insist you try some. We have fresh stock recently prepared on account of, well, because we just woke up, and we're quite all famished. Up along the platforms here, and you'll find a strange storage unit, full to bursting with delectable desserts. Help yourself to anything you like. I'm eager to hear what you think of our work. I'm sure there's some small improvement, but I'm confident you'll be satisfied. One serving's never enough. You'll be back for seconds and thirds, I'm sure of it. Absolutely, dragon. Come on. Come on. This doesn't require a debate. We have to work, so quit dragging your feet and get into it. You open the storage unit and find a rainbow-coloured assortment of carrots. The blue variety is strangely supple to touch and smells vaguely of mint. Its excessive length and girth only adds to the dubious of this so-called carrot. The soft texture and redolent aroma of this crimson creation belie its staggering weight. The excessive length and girth only compounds its mystery, leaving you perplexed to the nature of this carrot. While it has no peculiar smell to speak of, the yellow variant is usually unusually light and springy. These qualities, together with excessive length and girth, would lead anyone to question whether it is indeed a carrot. From front to tip, no scratches or blemish mar this immaculate specimen. Nevertheless, if not for its excessive length and girth, one might think it was an ordinary carrot. On second thought, you'll like to take it an obscenely large carrot for now. Due to its bizarre qualities, it would be prudent to ask Cooking Way whether it's safe to eat first. Oh, I wanted to see what weird effects it would do. So, did any of our selections set your mouth watering? Even Viera are like to swoon at the sight of so grand a carrot. That or be offended by all those who assumed that they would. Ah yes, a fine choice. One of my personal favourites actually. Please dig in. I'm eager to hear what you think. I hope you enjoy it as much as we do. With great trepidation, you take a bite out of the carrot. You are taken by surprise when blue juices burst forth from the carrot and dribble down your chin. As you take your second bite, you can feel your mental faculties sharpening. Your mind opens to the universe, and for a brief moment the mysteries of existence are as simple, transformative truths. But the revelation is fleeting. When you at last finish the carrot, a sweet yet sour aftertaste lingers on your tongue, and the number 42 in your mind. The carrot met with your approval, yes? What did you think? Unlike anything you've ever tasted, yes? The philosopher's carrot improves mental fortitude, something of a shock at first bite, but it's well worth the enhanced powers of cognition. We have plenty of other varieties too. Bleeding carrots to improve blood flow, dream carrots to help with sleep. So you see, we have a carrot for every occasion. These carrots are extraordinary. Then why do you seem so disappointed? If they're lacking somehow, we need to know. I take it you too had a wide assortment of carrots to choose from, and naught else? If I may ask, what exactly did these collaborators share with you about cuisine on Etheres? Surely you're aware we have an abundance of dishes and food you could emulate. Of course we are, but well, it was only quite recently we established contact. Even though the conversation was a struggle at first, so imagine their surprise when they sent a mountain of books and documents with no secure instructions. The sheer amount of information was overwhelming. If it wasn't for that encyclopedia I found, we would have been at a loss where to begin. And so we decided, rather than divide our resources to prepare a variety of middling and potentially unsatisfying meals, it would be more efficient to devote our efforts to the production of a single perfect food. That's all well and good, but man cannot live on raw carrots alone. Have you considered cooking them? You mean steaming, boiling, roasting, and the like? I suppose we could prepare the carrots in other ways. But our primary concern was efficiency, and what's more efficient than sinking your teeth into a carrot fresh from the production? A rather strange approach to take for one named Cooking Way, isn't it? Well, technically speaking, Cooking Way isn't my given name. When first created, we're all named in the old tongue. You know, that otherwise impenetrable parlance the Watcher speaks. After we received a great tome of words, a dictionary that is, from our collaborators, we learned your language, adverbs, gerunds, present, continuous verb conjunctions, just the basics. Then we found the terms related to our given tasks, and used them to form new names. Aren't they helpful? No, not really, but it does explain a great deal. Wherefore didst thou kind deem such a change necessary? When the rest of your people arrive, we want to be certain they understand immediately what each of us does. You'd never be able to pronounce their original names anyway. I see. I hope our critiques, such as they are, were helpful to you. Though, if you should decide to preserve flora and fauna from Aetheris as well, you'll be able to offer the passengers a more balanced diet. Until such a day, one I pray comes sooner than later, it would appear there is naught but carrots on the menu. Hungry for more carrots? Fear not. You can eat to your heart's content after you've seen the rest of Beastway's Burrow. While I'm sure the Lopreats would hop at the chance to expound upon carrots in inexhaustive detail, perhaps it's time we moved on. I hate to admit it, but I did rather like the carrots. Livingway is eager to show you more of the moon's wonders. I think we've had our fill of carrots for now. Let's move on to other necessities, shall we? Our clothing production is sure to impress. This way! Do you suppose the clothes they prepare will be as grossly oversized as the carrots? Garments born of the heavens, crafted with methods ancient and forgotten, dressed befitting, we walk in shade, stewards of esoteric. It's hardly sunsilk tapestries, but perhaps we'll be pleasantly surprised. Here we are, the apparel production station. We've chosen to employ more traditional methods for this task, creation magics. Heidelin, in her infinite wisdom, blessed us with its self-same affinity for magic, her people possessed. We have other amazing talents, of course, and I know you're dying to hear about them, but I will regale you with the details another time. That said, we did run into a spot of trouble at first. Our magic alone was not sufficient to see our work done. In the end, we discovered crystallized aether was a wonderful catalyst that could provide us with the extra viz we needed. My, how resourceful. Ah, the sweet sound of recognition. You will also be impressed to hear we've read all about the habit of changing attire to match your chosen profession. For the sake of efficiency, I presume. This has also been taken into account with our designs. But why take my word for it when you can simply try on our clothes? Make yourselves known to the workers and they will see to the rest. If you're worried about sizing, don't be. It should be a simple matter to adjust our concepts as required. And it will be required. It's you, one of the visitors in Aetheris. Goodness me, mapping me wasn't good. You really are smaller than a Watcher. Oh, right. You're here to try on a set of clothes, Russ? What would you have me fashion for you today? A fashionable and refined ensemble. Fashionable, right? This will only take a moment. There we are, all finished. A perfect fit if I do say so myself. I'll be honest, I know nothing of fashion, let alone fashion on Aetheris, but I'd wager no one down there has ever worn anything like this fine ensemble. Perhaps you can start a new trend? Would you look at that, speechless! And here I thought you may not like it. Never mind to say something else, why not speak with my fellow artisans? I'm sure they'd be happy to oblige. No one said you'd be coming. How can I help you? You wish to try my clothes? Really? Of course, it would be my honor. Did you have anything in mind? Because anything with a little more flair. I think I can handle that. Let's see. I should do. Some of my best work yet. Times and tastes truly have changed. It used to be so rare for anyone to request clothing with such a focus on form over function. Thankfully, I had a spare concept for robes, made using a different fabric. I think it looks rather fetching. I was worried how the concept would turn out when put to the proof, but it looks rather stunning on you. Won't you go and show Livingway? I'm sure she's eager to see what we've come up with. My, don't we look splendid? The result of much trial and error, but I know quality work when I see it. Shh, you need to speak. I can see your adoration for the moon and the little puts in your eyes. No doubt your friends feel the same after having sampled our creations. Oh god. What's I gonna see? Sorry to have kept you waiting. They insisted we sample all of their concepts ere we returned. Verily, 'tis an ensemble most becoming. I think it's past time we return these clothes. I was so confident our garments would meet with your approval. Whatever are we doing wrong? The Watcher taught us that in his time everyone wore the same robes. To do otherwise was against social etiquette. We thought we could appeal to modern taste by tailoring the robes to specific professions, but... Please, you mustn't be so hard on yourself. Should we resort to evacuating the people of Aetheris, they will most certainly have need of your attire. It is clear you spared no effort in addressing our needs, but you must understand that we are not quite so homogeneous. Speaking for myself, what I wear now better suits my tastes, even if it is of inferior make. But there are others whose choices may be influenced by traditions or personal experience. Rather than make assumptions for the whole, you must consider the individual and their potential preferences. I fear we've underestimated the complexity and diversity of your people. Even if we memorized every tome we've received, I doubt we'd have fared much better. Maybe we're doing you a disservice trying to shower you with all our baubles and frippery, thinking it was for your benefit, when you'd be better off on your own. There are some who might agree, people who prefer to keep others at arm's length, even when they know they shouldn't. As one such former fool, I'd like to ask you a question. This plan to evacuate and escape the final days, did it account for the reflections of the source as well? Not that I'm aware of. We were born of Heidland's love for Aetheris, and the salvation of the people on that star, and that star alone, has ever been our aim. Surely it's better to devote ourselves to saving one world than divide our efforts across 14 and risk failing them all. I suppose you're right. Livingway, might we have leave to explore Beastway's burrow unattended? You have given us much to think about. Why, certainly! Until later, then. If I may, I should like to accompany thee a while longer. Really? I mean, you're more than welcome to. There was actually something I wished to speak with you about. Let's be off then, shall we? My apologies. I wasn't trying to spy or anything. Everyone's been talking about the visitors come from Aetheris, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. I was excited at first, but now I'm worried. What if the people of Aetheris refuse to come? What if we can't save them? It's clear we've made a mess of things. Oh, but wait, you still haven't visited domiciles. Once you see them, you'll understand how wonderful the moon truly is. I'm sure of it. I'll be waiting for you at the teleporter near the entrance. Oh, and the name's Growing Way, by the way. See you soon. Oh, what's that weather condition? Moon dust. You're here. You're really here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry. What should I call you? Elita Draconia, eh? Crikey, even your names are amazing. Well, Elita, we'll be using this teleporter to enter the residential area. Whenever you're ready.
Ready in the teleporter. Huh? Access to living quarters restricted due to reconstruction. Then where is it? Oh no!
A private audience, as thou didst request, for reasons I know not.
Just a precaution. I'd rather I didn't have to ask the question at all, but I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. Do you and your friends, by any chance, find our accommodation wanting? Be honest, brutally even.
'Twould be ungracious of me to belittle the efforts of thee and thine.
Lovely sentiment, really. But the disappointment is writ plain on your comrades' faces. It's all the more frustrating since no one will come out and say what they find wanting. If there are faults in our work, we need to know. We can, we will do better. But time is not on our side. The final days will wait for no one. If your people are to be saved, we must take quick and decisive action. This vessel must serve as a home for as many passengers as possible, for far longer than we may like. Which brings me to my request. Our collaborators on Atheris are doing what they can to prepare for the voyage. Would you be willing to go and lend them a hand? Having seen the moon for yourself, you could speak to its many splendors, learn what else they might require, and assuage whatever concerns they have.
Wherefore wouldst thou entrust me with such a task?
How to put it? You're the only one who appears not to be wholly unsatisfied with our work. Oh, quite good at pretending that's the case, at least. Calm, collected, tactful to a fault. Very particular with your words, too. You understand that, in the face of great danger, one cannot pursue perfection at the expense of practicality. The difficult choices must often be made for the greater good.
And so fate doth conspire to set my feet upon this path once more.
Come again?
Idle musings. 'Tis no trifle thou dost ask, yet full well do I understand the urgency and necessity.
Oh, dear me! Dear me! I was terribly sorry for the mix-up. It's a bit of a malfunction. I hadn't realized the residential quarters were inaccessible, you see. But you're still in one piece. So, all's well that ends well, yes? Won't happen again. I promise.
Gosh, that was embarrassing. I promise to be more careful from now on. Since the residential quarters are closed for now, I've rerouted the teleporter to allow travel between floors instead. Hopefully it proves useful in the meantime. Ah, a shame you couldn't see it though. I really would have liked it. Growingway has come to put his recent mishap behind him. It may not seem like it, but we've been planning for this for far longer than I'd care to admit. Each time we woke up, we'd have a long discussion about how to save as many of you as we can. It felt like everyone had an opinion on this or that. But the one thing we all agreed on was that the people of Aetheris wouldn't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we're striving to make the moon a vibrant, magical place they'd hop at the chance to visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You've already had a look at the Caritorium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you at the east of the borough. Follow me. There you go, Charizard. Good, you're here. Through this door is the greatest End Vale. It was named as such because it's the veil to end all veils, the most beautiful forest you'll ever see. We understand the people of Ethris enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces and the like, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a stroll to the fountain? This way. Four, 5, 6, 7. So, what do you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant? Simply sublime? I didn't see any. Wait. You don't mean those crystals out there are... Right you are! Our forest is made up of crystals and constructs dotting the landscape as far as the eye can see. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. The information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation, we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees. And thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as you find in the forest in Ethris. The fountain here behind us, powered by the rather large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us with fresh water. Much time and effort was spent in making it the most spherical of spheres, and I dare say unparalleled awareness speaks for itself. enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. You look like you could do with a stretch yourself. Feeling tense, Elita? Why not stretch and relax? That's a spirit. I feel more relaxed simply watching you. A sight worth the many years spent building this place. If it's not too much to ask, it's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through this forest with someone from Aethris. Could we maybe... You will? Oh, be still, my quivering whiskers. Nothing like a relaxing stroll to forget one's worries, eh? I was thinking, Elita, that I could be more helpful to you teaching you a little about the moon and what it is we do. When we were first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiac, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually Heidelin gave us our first task, furnish the moon with propulsion systems capable of facilitating travel to other stars. It sounds impressive, and I suppose in some respects it is. But it was only possible thanks to the knowledge Heidelin shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done, 6,000 years give or take. But anyway, let's keep going. Can I taste the rainbow, Crystal? What? No! I'm not sure what you do with crystals on Aethris, but we don't eat them. And certainly not this one. It's possessed of all 6 elements: wind, lightning, fire, earth, and ice and water. We use the crystals like these to maintain the moon's elemental equilibrium. It's worth mentioning, though, that because of Heidelin's influence, being the embodiment of tranquility and stasis and all, manipulating the elements here is different than it might be on Aethris. A conjuring of fire would soon dry your clothes and singe them. For example, put simply, the etheric conditions are ill-suited to growth, which is why the surface is mostly barren. Of course, this was all necessary to keep the raging energies of Zodiac in check. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building the inhabitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we'd started sooner. Who'd have thought that we'd need 4,000 years to make all this? It certainly wasn't work you dare rush either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, some of which wouldn't be operational for hundreds of years later. And then there was that brief period where our productivity came to a screeching halt, when that bizarre red satellite was sent up from Aethris. The Allegan's mischief, I think. We thought maybe some new nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiac. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can't tell you how relieved we were when Heidelin informed us of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. Say, do you notice anything peculiar about the treetops? I mean, apart from the fact they're massive crystals and not trees? I'll give you a hint. It's the golden rings emanating from the glowing spheres. Along with the device fixed near the ceiling, they fulfill a role similar to our sun, and do so even better. The sun and similar celestial objects in the great expanse radiate energy that is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from that energy while allowing you to bathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather a close approximation of it. Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees, of ever so slightly different curvature. Yes, indeed, this forest truly is the greatest. There was something else I wanted to tell you about. Oh, yeah, right. The propulsion systems and habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that the most important features were fit for this purpose. Which is all well and good, except we knew absolutely nothing about the present-day people of Aetherius. Why not go and visit Aetherius yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited for evil ends, the results could be disastrous. Then there were even a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Heidelin. Fearful we might lose the ability to communicate with her altogether, we besieged her to find people on Aetherius we could trust to help. We were quite fortunate everything worked out as it did. With the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, we remained asleep and waited. Hopefully Heidelin would find someone who would help us. Eventually she did, and through her power was waning, we were able to speak to them directly for a short while. We shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens, and a means to travel here to the moon. They certainly didn't waste any time with what we taught them. No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all the letters, books and other resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more meaningful changes to the moon. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. I knew you would like the greatest Innsvale. I knew it. Thank you again for coming here. By the way, I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot for me. There you are. I take it you've already received the grand tour. Shame we missed it. I've been looking all over for you. Growing weight, I've been looking all over for you. Oh, it's about the teleporter into the residential area. No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. I will be calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? I can't imagine why you'd need me there, but if you insist. We won't be away long, so you are all more than welcome to continue looking about the barrow. Come along now, Cronway. Before we arrived, you seemed in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything of import? Well, this is a forest. They've spent 12,000 years preparing this? With the appointed hour fast approaching, I could certainly understand their restlessness, but still. It remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are yet no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who would readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they are possessed of the world's most charming personalities, or means to forcibly evacuate people, they will meet with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There is another matter which yet begs for mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, that will not be necessary, if you will excuse me. Huh? What do you suppose has suddenly tickled his fancy? 'Tis clear now that difficult decisions lie ahead of us. Preparation for the evacuation of Ithris is indeed crucial, but I am not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust I am not alone in my resistance. The final days will make brave fools of us all. By now Thancred can tell when his friends are up to something. Did Urianger seem strange to you? More so than usual, I mean? I know he has a penchant for keeping his own counsel, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Would you go and see if he's alright? Y'shtola and I will remain here and see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps you can catch up to them. Better for only one of us to go, in case it's a delicate matter. Hopefully I'm overthinking things. Urianger usually puts more effort into concealing his clandestine endeavours, or maybe he's simply given up trying to hide it, knowing we'll find out eventually. In any case, that he acts with good intentions is plain, so please give him the benefit of the doubt. The facilitating Lord Priest is in need of help. Oh, it's you. If it's not too much trouble, I could really use your help. We've been making clothes for your people, but after speaking with Livingway, I realised we've made a grave mistake. Considerable alterations must be made to our plans, and I was hoping you might join me to speak with the Lord in charge of garment adjustments. Thank you. They're not going to be happy about this. The playful Loppery has a new game to play. Greetings! I'm the Loppery in charge of Children's Romping Grounds. I expect it will be quite a challenge keeping the children of Aetheris entertained with limited space and supplies, but I dare say I'm up to it. In fact, I recently came up with a new game that requires no props or preparation. I call it the Lollipete's Never Stop a Read. Name pending Livingly's approval. Care to give it a go? I knew you would. Now the game is very simple. You only need to count the Lollipetes hopping this way, and that way, and possibly no way before time is up. I have the perfect place picked out to play. Follow me to the cafetorium. Accordingly needs to gather more data. Curses! Insufficient data, even after everything I've done. You, Livingway told me about you. Would you mind lending me a hand? As you know, we Lollipetes only awakened recently. While we were sleeping, Mariela Morenton has undergone a number of bewildering changes, one of them being the appearance of a strange walking fungi thinkers, we call them. An Allegan vessel crashed here many years ago, you see, and some part of it pierced through the wall of our underground bioplant. I believe the spores from within eventually made their way to the surface of the moon, where they went on to mutate and evolve our absence. I mean to study these curious new life forms, but I need more data before I can draw any real conclusions. Would you be willing to retrieve a sample of fungal filaments for me? Yes, a single sample would more than suffice. If I remember my culture studies correctly, you will expect some form of payment in exchange for services rendered, yes? Bring me that filament and I will see you are duly compensated. The inquisitive Loppery is eager to learn about people. Aha! I knew I'd find one of you eventually. Can you talk? I have so many things I wish to ask you. We have learned much about you thanks to our collaborators on Aetheris, but it has become clear that there's a great deal you neglected to mention. Your stunted growth, for example. Rather than speculate on other crucial details we might have overlooked, we're hoping you can clarify a few things if that's alright. Thank you so much. A few of my fellow Lopperies are sure to have burning questions of their own. If you could wait here a moment, I'll go fetch them. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now then, shall we get started? First, we'd like to ask about typical methods of stress relief. We have read that when thrust into a new and otherwise unfamiliar environment, the people of Ithris can become quite stressed. Should the worst come to the worst and they're forced to relocate here to the moon, well, we're considering a number of contingencies based on what we've read. But being a native of Ithris yourself, we're quite curious to know how you prefer to relieve stress. I usually sleep my troubles away. Interesting. Perhaps we should consider creating sleep-inducing carrots to help people relax. That was certainly enlightening, thank you. We'll make a paradise out of the moon yet. Just wait and see. I too have a rather pertinent question. What do your people do for recreation? We have pored over every book provided to us from cover to cover, but the answer yet eludes us. As such, we're quite certain that a few ideas we had for entertainment are wanting for inspiration. So tell us, what do you enjoy? Travel and exploration of the unknown can be quite exhilarating. Oh good, there are myriad places to visit on the moon aside from Mariela and Moreton. They'll look more or less the same though. I think I have a better idea of what needs to be done next. Thank you. One last question, if I may, and perhaps the most important we could ask of you. Do you like carrots? I love carrots. I'm glad to hear it. We need to eat too, so try leave some for us. I think that covers everything. Thank you for your time. That was awfully nice of you taking time to answer our questions. It was more helpful than you know. Every word of what you said in here is in my notes. I plan to share it with everyone. Mark my words, we'll transform the moon into a marvel unlike anything you've ever seen. Excuse me, miss. Have you by chance seen any thieves prowling around with ill-gotten carrots? They're crimson, tender, surprisingly heavy. The carrots, that is, not the thieves. If you haven't seen them yet, I'm sure you will. We've been told that you adventurers are quite good at solving crimes that no one else is bothered with. Wonderful. I'm relying on you to resolve our carrot caper. Honestly, what matter of fiend would deny a Loperit their dinner? Anyway, our culprit or culprits took 4 carrots and off. Those are not easy to carry about, so I dare say they can't have gotten far. There must be a clue around here somewhere. Anyway, needs help gathering the carrotrums, Loperits for mealtime. Oh bother. There's no sign of any of them, and it's almost time to eat. You there. If you happen to be heading to the Caratorium, could you let my fellows know it's mealtime? If we don't eat, I can't take my nap. Many thanks. They should come running at the mention of carrots of happiness. So just say those 3 magic words and they'll be on their way. The sparkling-eyed Loppery has rainbows on their mind. Goodness, my apologies. I was rather preoccupied thinking about the rainbow crystals. Beautiful, aren't they? Their elemental energies are what make it possible for people to survive here from the moon. From the air we're breathing to the crystal that keeps us haphazardly floating about, it's all thanks to those crystals. They require regular maintenance to maintain equilibrium though, and that's where I come in. If you remind me how it's done, I could use an extra set of paws, or hands, as your kind seems to insist on calling them. My friends will take care of the more delicate work, so all you need to do is bring a few unexpected crystals. How about it? It's so nice to know people from Aetheris take an interest in their own ability to breathe. Now, what we need to get started are lightning and wind aspect crystals, one of each. You can find them at their respective sparkly supply stations. Once you have them, you'll want to deliver them to the lightning aspect of the Aether crystal to the shine supervisors in the north. They're in charge of the shining, as you know. The wind aspect crystals should go to Hoppingway near the entrance. I'll handle the fire and water aspect crystals, so you need to simply report to me once your crystals are distributed. Take the square root of roots and you get carrots of happiness, you say? My, is it that time already? I was working out projections for optimal carrot production based on the total population of Aetheris to ensure that. Oh, never mind. I must make haste, or I'll miss out on seconds. Oh my whiskers, I was there too from Aetheris. What do I do? What do I say? And have you brought any snack? Could that mean... Yes, it must be time to eat at last. Oh, how I've waited for this moment. There's nothing like a carrot of happiness to fill the void in one's belly and soul. Oh, carrot, my carrot, the prize we sought is won. What? They're serving carrots of happiness today. A deep, luscious orange, that tempting scent of silhouette. Wait for me, my darlings, I'm coming for you. Ah, you've returned. Ah, and everyone else is accounted for. Sustenance is essential for us, Lord Baritz. Though I suppose people are the same. In any case, we expended a lot of effort in raising a whole variety of carrots. Carrots of happiness are a new cultivar that we are particularly comforting, though. It seems almost so to have our whisk workers consume so many carrots just so that we can produce more carrots. But that's a problem that can be solved with even more carrots. No need to worry about the details. I'll work out the figures as soon as... What were we talking about? Do you see the carrot creation station there? When you're ready, if you can count how many Laura Petes are sneaking on to it. So, you think you counted them right? How many lore puppies did you see? Oh, so close. How about giving it one more try? We have a winner! Too easy, you say? Well, it's no fun if it's too hard. And you did have fun, didn't you? Wait, hold that thought. Our town here is near the up, and structure is important for productive play. You could tell me all about the fun you had after we returned to Peaceborough instead. Oh, hello there. I don't suppose you've come to deliver that lightning aspect of crystal. The crystal infused with lightning aspect of ether, courtesy of the Curatorium. You have? Well then, stand back. I'll have those rainbow crystals sparkling like new in no time at all. And it means a lot to know when you're willing to help with the moon's upkeep. Now please step away from the control panel. The scrumptious carrot has been tragically abandoned in its prime. Based on the primer you recently received, you can see with relative certainty that iron carrots are not blue. If I mix this carrot with that one then. Ah, but wait, mixing it with this one better. Oh, confound it, I was planning to mix what with what again? These philosopher's carrots really hit the spot. Just a few more. What? What? No, of course I'm not stealing. These are mine. Is it so wrong to enjoy an early dinner? Insufficient stock of carrots, iron carrots to test, initiate an iron carrot for clearance. Oh. It's you! You're here! Which can mean you have a crystal for me. A crystal infused with wind aspects, aether courtesy of the Carpatorian. Yes, that's the one I need, thank you. The rainbow crystals will likely be in 2 shakes of a rabbit's tail. Aren't you thrilled? You're back. Please tell me you found the carrots. A supporter? I never would have expected. They're supposed to help us farm carrots, not eat them. I recall a technician said something about enhancing its code with a love for carrots to increase work efficiency, but to go so far as to steal carrots for itself, I fear it may now love them a little too much. Alas, those poor carrots, but at least we know what became of them, and how to prevent this happening again. Thank you for your assistance. You're back. I take it everything went according to plan? Then Marilla Monitorium is safe for another day. This part of it anyway. Though there is one thing I still wish the crystals could provide for us. Rain. Oh, how I long to see the shimmering raindrops that fall so freely on Aetheris. It's my dream to one day expand the capabilities of the rainbow crystals so that we can do just that. Who knows, perhaps you'll need the parasol the next time you visit. But until then, I promise we'll keep them in tip-top condition. We do live here and all. Now, tell me what you think. I'm confident the children will like it, and it cuts back on equipment costs as well. I see no downside, so I want to hear your honest opinion. How was it? I had a great time. Wonderful. I knew I came up with a terrific game, but hearing it from you is all the more reassuring. Thank you for taking the time to play with me. If I come up with a new game, I'll be sure to seek your expert opinion. me we're doing it all wrong. We have to fix these clothes before it's too late. How are we supposed to research everything? We don't even know what to base alterations on. Oh, you must be the model then. Ah, I see. You really are like a baby carrot. Perhaps an explanation is in order. You see, we'd like you to help us redefine the style of the clothing we create. We believe that comfort and familiarity are key to accommodating the people of Eleuthis. Which is why we thought masks and all-purpose robes would suffice. When Livingway claimed the fashion trends of Aetheris are far removed from what we were anticipating, I was incredulous, but meeting you made everything painfully clear. Indeed, I see how our plans went too. Your garments are so vibrant and unique, and still need to decide what adjustments to make. So would you please stay a while? Thank you now. Be a dear and strike a pose for me, will you? I want to get an idea of how the fabric moves with you. If you could pose for me, it'd be a great help. No need to be shy. There's no one watching but the two of us. Go ahead and give us a pose. Yes, just like that. I see. May I ask why you chose to wear this outfit? I like how it looks. So people find designs like this aesthetically pleasing. I'll have to bear that in mind when I redesign our concept. Might I see your battle stance next? If the people of Aetheris have need to fight, I'd have to cut it, search their clothes, strike fear in the hearts of their enemies. I'm fairly sure that if I were wandering to battlefield, I'd be turned into a pelt in no time. Would you show me your most valiant battle stance? Your clothes must be stylish, but they must also strike fear into the hearts of your enemies. People enjoy that, yes? Yes, I believe I have a solid grasp on what our designs were lacking before. Truly, I never realized that one's choice of attire could make such an impression. And that ensemble befits your personality, I must say. Which means we can't just do the same garb on everyone. What is that saying you have? Ah yes, variety is the spice of life. You have given me so many new ideas, I can hardly wait to get started. In fact, I cannot wait at all. Right then. Would you care to follow me back to my station? I was starting to wonder if the Thinkers had sent you in. Were you able to retrieve a sample? A sampling of filament taken from the sentient fungi found on the moon. Excellent. I'll get to work on analysing it right away. Why, the structure of this filament is altogether different from the fungi growing in the bioplant. Mayhap the spores mixed in with substances leaked from the Algan ship. Can we write in conversion fluid, perhaps? In any case, this isn't good. Any and all potential threats must be eliminated if we are to make the moon fit for inhabitation. You've helped with the most important discovery, and for that you have my thanks. Here, your reward as promised. Oh my god, isn't this exciting? I've never seen one of your kind up close before. Would you mind if I take those measurements of your body just for reference, of course? Urianja appears to be heading towards the entrance to Beastway's burrow. I do believe we have a much better idea of what we should be making now, and the necessary alterations should prove little trouble. Just you wait, someday soon the people of Aetherface will be clamouring for the latest fashions from Beastway Burrow. Assuming I get back to work, that is. Thank you for your help. Urianja ventures off into Mariela Mountain for reasons unknown. You must tread carefully, else he might sense your presence.
Thine arrival is timely as ever. Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Living Way, I presume? 'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy, and duplicity. When Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life, I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain brokered by my hand were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine her beloved daughter. Two souls, whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives, ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbringer, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians. In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today. Selfish wants born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning, one which must never again come to pass. Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
Have faith in yourself and your decisions. Take heart and protect well those you can.
Sage counsel indeed. I see. Wisdom as befits a great worm. Curious that he should think thee in need of such encouragement. Strange. Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly. I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond. 'Twould be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
What are they saying? Curse these ears! I've heard bugger all!
Little eavesdroppers.
No matter. We've got our plans.
In truth, my reason for travelling hither was to effect a plan of mine own. A plan which may pave a way forward for us all. May, I say. There is no guarantee of success. 'Tis the reason I set out alone. That failure, should it come, will be mine to bear alone. Yet thou standest before me with proffered hand and open heart. 'Twould be remiss of me to refuse thy amity, and so I ask, wouldst thou join me in mine endeavour? Andrew is quite glad for your company. I thank thee for accompanying me. 'Tis a simple plan, in truth. We shall not be long away from Beastaway's burrow. Difficult decisions must needs be made in the coming days, but I nevertheless believe we are all of one mind and desire to save the people of Aetheris. To make clear a resolve to the Loporrites, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require a most singular ingredient. An abundance of spongoi. Excellent. I chanced to spy this aggregation when crossing Zodiac's erstwhile prison. Using a spell taught to me by the new moon, I believe these shall suffice for the gift I would fashion. The magitech requireth considerable concentration, however. Might I prevail upon thee to stand watch whilst I perform the incantation? Hello. Surveying the nearby area, I see no sign of potential threats. This would be a good idea to see a good opportunity to see how Urianger is faring. Urianger remains fixated on his work. There, 'tis done. A magic ink. Every ounce as effective as those crafted by the new move. Rare is the occasion I would conjure mine own, but it is nevertheless the most useful skill. The resulting product is admittedly possessed of no preternatural properties, but its hue is one of mine own choosing, which I pray the Loperites will appreciate. Elita! Urianger! Oh, thank goodness! I thought you'd been eaten, or had perhaps fallen into a crater. Y'shtola has been looking all over for you, Elita. She says she needs to speak with you about something most urgent, dire even. She was also quite clear that she wishes to speak with Elita alone, which means I'm afraid you must stay behind, Urianger. But worry not. It just so happens we need your help with an errand delivering a package from the Watcher's Palace to Beastway's Burrow. It's quite large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy for we poor Loperites, and we would be ever so grateful if you could lend us a hand. How about an extra pair of hands before I go and meet with Y'shtola? No, that won't be necessary. Urianger's help should more than suffice. And I'm sure you don't want to risk getting on Y'shtola's bad side by keeping her waiting. She seems prickly. Now, off with you. Worry not, Elita. I shan't be long. Let's be a way to get that one little bit filled in. And with that, I think I'm going to stop there for now. Alright, Georgia. You can have some rest too. Soon the stage will catch up with my white mage, and that should be quite fine.